Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Absolutely delighted to bring on Corey from the West Ham Way, a West Ham fans channel. What a game. What a game this Sunday. West Ham United v Tottenham Hotspur, 5th v 9th. And of course, West Ham sitting in 5th. Corey, you must be delighted with the season so far.
Yeah, it's funny. I was speaking to someone earlier. I was saying, I can't believe we are where we're at. I think a lot of West Ham fans tipped us to go down, particularly after the Newcastle game and obviously the lack of investment. But yeah, Moyes has turned it around. We've got a great side at the minute. We're getting goals. We beat Sheffield United. And the difference this season has been our consistency against the teams that we should beat. And it does mean, of course, in this up and down season that we are where we are. So yeah, mate, just enjoying it for the minute.
What's changed though, Corey? Because most years when we play you, no disrespect to West Ham, but Tottenham are normally above West Ham in the Premier League table. Now, going into this game, West Ham are 5th, played 24, won 12, drawn 6, lost 6. You've lost one Premier League game in the last 2 months.
Yeah, I haven't really got my head around it. I think it's ultimately Moyes and the squad have built into what he wants. And I think, when he went to Sociedad and Sunderland and Man United, he didn't get long enough. And obviously the size of a club like Man United as well, he didn't get that control that he needs. I feel like at West Ham, he's got a core of players, Creswell, Rice, Souček, Soufal. They've all bought into exactly what he wants. And West Ham work incredibly hard defensively. Now we're getting bodies forward. So we've got that ability to go to a low block, win games and shut them out and score goals. And to be fair, it's just that consistency and that energy level in all the games. As a West Ham fan, pretty much every season that I've watched, we've gone and beaten a Tottenham or a Man City, and then we've lost to a Burnley in the next game. But I think we've got the most points against the rest of the other 14 teams outside the Big Six. So it's consistency, I think.
Now, when you go back to October earlier on in the season, Tottenham 3, West Ham United 3. Now, after 16 minutes, Spurs were 3-0 up. And of course, you come back to draw 3-3. Just describe how you felt in that game, because I'll tell you what, for me, after 16 minutes, I thought we were absolutely cruising and just counting how many goals we were going to score. And then, for that result to end 3-3 was just incredible for you guys, but very, very disheartening for us.
But yeah, I thought you were brilliant. I thought you were absolutely brilliant. I knew the struggle that we were going to come into, particularly in that game and the way that you played. And obviously, you'd got some good results against United and Southampton. And West Ham had to be a bit more defensive. I think we tried to press you quite early on, and you got the spaces, and it was massively frustrating. I think a lot of people were saying Moyes got it completely wrong. And to be fair, earlier this season, he has got a few things wrong. But second half, I think, Mourinho was very comfortable, stepped off against West Ham, and we sort of pushed our fullbacks up. We got lucky with an own goal, and it is what it was, that Manu Lanzini last-minute winner. That just happens. But, I feel like Tottenham invited it a little bit towards the second half. I think sometimes this season you have invited that pressure and you haven't gone to kill games off. And I think, it's unbelievable. Still can't believe we got the draw in the end.
Corey, who have been the standout players for West Ham so far this season? And from what I understand, Antonio will be back for you for this game, and he loves to play against Spurs, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. I'm not sure if he'll start. The hamstring keeps pulling up, and there's talks that he could be in the squad, which is a massive bonus. We've had to revert to almost like a false 9 in Jesse Lingard. He did very, very well against Sheffield United, and we're playing okay. I think the ones this season for me is Thomas Souček and Declan Rice. That honestly, every week is 7 out of 10 each week. Souček gets the goals. He breaks defensive lines. He's fantastic in the air. Declan's improved as a player. He continues to improve. He's so young as well, taking on the captain's armband. Fantastic in terms of his composure on the ball, his defensive awareness. We do depend on that midfield too. We've been very, very fortunate they haven't got injured throughout the season. And that's why there's a worry from West Ham fans. If one of them gets injured towards the end of this season, that it could slightly fall apart. There's a few in there that have not probably been mentioned. Soufal's been fantastic since he's come in. Aaron Creswell looks revitalised at that left centre-back role. So a lot of big performances. I think West Ham over the past couple of years, we've relied on that one player to dig us out. And actually this season, we've got 3, 4, 5 players that we can depend on each week.
Have you been pleased with Jesse Lingard since he arrived?
Yeah, do you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't say I was against it. I was confused when the rumour came out initially. And why would we go for Jesse Lingard? But I said, look, Moyes, he knows what he's getting with Lingard. He knows something that we don't know. And each week I see him. Against Aston Villa, he was superb. His link up with Ben Rama and Antonio was fantastic. Takes the pressure off Antonio as well. Sheffield United, his ball carrying, his intelligence. We forget that he is a talented player. He's still 28 and, he has got something to offer. But yeah, he makes a massive impact. And I think we're seeing the quality of that in this West Ham side, possibly the quality we need with Mickey out the side.
It's a weird one, that, Corey, because there were so many media reports out stating that Lingard could sign for Spurs because, of course, that Jose Mourinho link. And so many people who watched this channel said, no, we don't want Jesse Lingard at our club. And, of course, he's gone to West Ham. And I think there's so much more to come from him. And, it'd be interesting to see what happens in the future with him. Wanted to ask your opinion on what have you made of Tottenham's season so far? Because, of course, we've played 23 in the league. We've won 10, drawn 6 and lost 7. We've got 36 points. We're 6 points behind West Ham. We're 6 points behind the top 4. Tottenham need top 4. We need that Champions League football for next season. Some fans are very mixed on opinions whether we can make it or not. But watching Tottenham this season, what have you made of us?
I thought, obviously, that first game against Everton, I thought, here we go. This is Mourinho's not getting enough from the players. And then since I think that Southampton game, he looked absolutely superb. I think Harry Kane's a phenomenal player when he plays, and that intelligence that he shows with the long range passing from deep, dropping into the 10, Son going past him. I think you had a style of play. And at times you were playing that back 6 against Manchester City, so you could grind out the results and get goals. And I think in order for Mourinho to be successful, he needs all the players to buy into what he's doing, and they have to almost sacrifice what they do as part of their natural game. And I'm not sure all the players are on board with it. I think the other day against City at one point, you had Bale, Ali, Son and Kane on the pitch. And I thought that's an unbelievable attacking 4. And he's kind of flipped between a 3-4-3 and now to the 4-2-3-1. I mean, I'm not sure where you're going to finish this season. I'm not sure, and I've not seen in Mourinho's career where he's picked up from this dip, and he always has a dip at every club that he manages. Can he galvanise? You hear Harry Kane, it could be a huge influence in the fact that he still believes in what Mourinho is trying to do. But now, if you can get a string of results, there's no doubt that you can go and try and compete for Champions League again.
Corey, what do you make of Jose Mourinho and his style of football? Do you think that it works for Spurs? As a fan of West Ham, when you look at Tottenham, do you see us achieving things, big things in the future under Jose Mourinho?
I've got to be honest, no. I don't think the style of play that he wants to implement is sustainable. Like you say, I think the players, they have to massively buy into what he's doing. I watched the Spurs game earlier as part of the preview for my channel, and you're a bit one-dimensional. I think without Reguilon in there to give you a bit of width and Aurier, it all becomes a little bit central and easy to play against. And it's tough. I think Spurs... It's interesting. If Spurs can get certain players in, possibly in that defensive midfield, I think Højbjerg's been fantastic for you, goes massively under the radar. And his bravery genuinely trying to play between the lines. If you can get another player in there like that, then maybe you can galvanise something. But long term, I just can't see, particularly with the players that you've got, Mourinho is the right man. I think you'll go for a Nagelsmann maybe in the summer, try and get a high press style of football, might suit your attacking players a bit more.
Now, when you mentioned Harry Kane and Heung-min Son there, of course, Tottenham's key men, many people have said that Spurs are an average side without them two in it. How do you think that West Ham will set up this Sunday in this game? Because, to take Harry Kane and Heung-min Son out of the game, clearly that is, the number one thing to do for any opponent.
Yeah, I think that we'll set up 3-4-3, so we can revert to a back 5 at times if we need to go into that low block. That's going to frustrate Spurs massively. What's been so impressive about David Moyes is his commitment to get men forward. I think we'll have Ben Johnson on the left, Soufal on the right-hand side. So we'll be able to progress, break lines and try and tear apart that Tottenham defence that looks a little bit fragile at the minute. How do you deal with Harry Kane? I'm not quite sure. I think, earlier in his career, he's a number 9. Now he's becoming a 10. And if you break the defensive lines, he's got that intelligence of movement. So stopping him is one thing, possibly just trying to nullify him or force him a bit deep. I do feel, though, that Son relies on Kane quite a fair bit. And he needs that man to link up with and play the ball in behind. So I think if West Ham go to a low block, will frustrate you quite a fair bit. But again, like I say, they're world-class talents. You can't write them off in 90 minutes.
Corey, many of us Tottenham fans call it the cup final, your cup final. Where has all that come from?
Don't know.
What do you make of that?
Ask you, look. No, look. I enjoy it. It's a London derby. Look, I can't. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I enjoy playing Tottenham. There's a bit of needle in there. I've got to be honest. I don't know where it comes from. To be fair, I feel like Spurs big it up as well. They're just a little bit more. They're not forthcoming in saying that it's a big game because we're supposed to be beneath them. But at the moment, the tables have turned. We're 6 points ahead of you. If we win the game, we go 9 points clear. Which, if you told me at the beginning of the season, I would have said absolutely no chance. But I said on another channel, the most important thing in this game is for West Ham to play the Tottenham team in front of us, not Tottenham as a side with Mourinho and the players that you've got. And I think West Ham this season have been a little bit guilty of not in games like Liverpool, where they had a lot of injuries. We haven't gone for it with the talent and, ultimately the way that we could go and win the game. So you feel that if we're positive in this game, then we can win our cup final and then we can go 9 points clear of you lot.
In all joking aside, when the fixtures come out at the start of the season, I always look at the Arsenal game and the Chelsea game. You know, they're my favourite games to play. As a West Ham fan, is the Tottenham fixtures one of the first you look at?
Yeah, no, I think it is, to be fair. I think Chelsea's up there. I know both of us don't like Chelsea that much. I do like playing Chelsea as well, and getting a result against them is sweet. I think probably the only thing is Arsenal isn't a massive derby for us. It is your derby. To go and beat Arsenal's a huge thing. But yeah, Tottenham and Chelsea, from my perspective, I think a lot of West Ham fans would agree.
Corey, Kevin writes on screen there, fair plays to David Moyes, has done a fantastic job. I don't know whether you've seen this stat. David Moyes has failed to beat Jose Mourinho in 15 games. His worst return against any manager.
Yeah, I haven't seen that stat, but I do believe it, because I think there was a stat saying that David Moyes hasn't won at Stamford Bridge either. And then we went and played there and got beat 3-0, surprisingly, when we were in such good form. So it is a little bit concerning. I do think that's the element of Moyes' record that needs to change, just generally against top teams. Stop playing a little bit with fear. Like I said to you before we came on, I think West Ham have got the best record in the league at beating the other 14 sides outside the top 6. So this is the difference between West Ham finishing 8th and going and getting that Europa League spot. Can we go and beat the Spurs or the Leicesters? And it's going to be a massive test, but we've got form on our side, and we're looking quite good at the minute.
I was going to say that, as a West Ham fan, you know, you're sitting in 5th. You know, same points as 4th place as well. Just goal difference separates. Where do you see West Ham finishing at the end of the season realistically? Are you getting super excited, thinking perhaps you can get that Champions League place?
No, I'm not, and I'll tell you why. I think if the board had gone out and backed Moyes like we should have done and brought in another striker, I would be sitting here saying maybe. I think we could do something, particularly in the season the way it is. The problem is the expectation. I think when you think you're going to get relegated, all of a sudden you're in 5th place. You can't quite wrap your head around it. I think a good season for West Ham is top 8, definitely. You look at some of the teams coming into the 4, Chelsea bringing in Tuchel, they're improving. Spurs will always have the potential to go and compete in top 6. And obviously Liverpool have slipped down. Any of those sides get a bit of form, then West Ham are going to slip out of that. But I do believe we are the better out of all the other teams. I think Everton always get a fair say, but I think we've been more consistent than Everton. So there's no reason why we can't compete for the Europa League. And if we got it, I mean, that's an incredible job from Moyes, to be fair.
Corey, with the form going into this game, Tottenham have lost 4 out of the last 5 Premier League games. Dreadful form for us. Your form, the last 10 Premier League games, winning 6, drawing 3, and losing 1. As I said earlier, only 1 defeat in the last 2 months. How do you see this game panning out? Are you super confident going into this game? Because many people are saying about no crowd. And there's a comment on screen now about no crowd. It doesn't really feel like a derby. What have you made of this season with, of course, no crowds being in there and those stats going into this match?
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I think there's been a bit of the press has bigged it up and said that the reason why West Ham are doing so well is because there's no pressure of the crowd. And I do think in games, the Burnleys, the West Broms, well, they haven't been great performances, but we have got that result that has played a part in it. I do think you do miss it. I think, like the comment says on screen, I think in a game like Spurs with the away fans or the home fans, it gives it a bit of needle, and West Ham can be up for it. So I think you can take that out of this fixture. In terms of the form generally, I think West Ham's performance level will be up there. I think we've actually improved since we played you last time in terms of going between systems and generally defensively. There are a lot less errors. I think it'll be cagey. I've got to be honest. I think the Moyes will go into this quite cagey, back 5, let you have possession. But I don't think Tottenham want possession either. Mourinho's not a massive fan of it. So it might be a little bit of a scrappy game. But I feel that, listen, if West Ham are positive in this game with the wing-backs that we can employ, we can get a result. We'll lose a bit of height without Mickey if he doesn't play with a false 9. It'll be a bit difficult. But I think it's time West Ham go and take a little bit of confidence coming into these type of fixtures. And listen, from our set pieces, we can hurt any team. So fingers crossed, even if it is tight, we can definitely get a result.
Corey, all that joking around about cup finals, I think that Jose Mourinho needs to treat this game like a cup final. And get us over that line because, when he came in, it was his first game in charge away at West Ham. We won the game 3-2, started the game very well, and then, of course, conceded two goals to you. And he got us over that line, and we hadn't won away in the Premier League for 10 months. So Tottenham really, really do need a win right now. And I tell you what, a lot of the Tottenham fans are worried about this game, including me. What's your score prediction? How do you think, feel free to give us a predicted lineup for West Ham?
Oh, score! I've got to back West Ham in this type of game. I'm going to go 2-1. I think we can definitely do it. In terms of the lineup, Fabianski will start. I think we'll go with a 3-4-3. I think you'll see probably Creswell back to that left centre-back role, Dawson, Diop. Then you'll have the wing-backs. Ben Johnson's coming now on that left wing-back position. He's looking fantastic. Soufal on right wing-back. Declan Rice, Tommy Soucek, no surprises in the middle of the park. I personally want to see Said Benrahma start on that left-hand side of the attacking three. I think he's fantastic when he comes on. He really gives us a key threat and he can unlock defences. Lingard in the false nine and Bowen on the right. And I can't see it changing too much. A couple of West Ham fans talking about maybe Frederick's right wing-back, Soufal right centre-back, because Diop did look a little bit shaky the other night. But Moyes tends to not change a winning team. So I would go with that. I think Lanzini got that run out the other night just to give Benrahma a rest. So fingers crossed he comes in.
Corey, another question for you. Who do you think that will finish? Who do you think will finish above whoever? West Ham above Spurs or Spurs above West Ham? At the end of the season?
I do think West Ham will finish above Spurs. Honestly, I think the way that you're performing, I can't see you galvanising enough. But it's not a reflection on the team. In theory, if, say, for example, if Mourinho did leave, which I don't think he will do, and you brought somebody else in, you've got the talent to go and compete. But I just think West Ham have been probably one of the most consistent sides this season. And that's why we are where we are, despite with our squad. So I'd say if we win on Sunday, I can't see us dropping 9 points, even with the difficult run of fixtures coming up.
You know, I'm going to leave you with these stats here. Harry Kane, 11 goals in 15 against West Ham.
I know, yeah.
and Heung-min Son, 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 games against West Ham. Them two absolutely love and thrive playing against West Ham, don't they?
They do, and you listen, as much as it pains me to say, because he's a Spurs player, I think Harry Kane he's an unbelievable player, and he's taken his game to another level this season. I think Son's fantastic as well, but I think Harry Kane, even though he's had a couple of injuries and he was never really quick, but he was always on the sort of in that 9 role. Actually, his adaptation to the side and what he does for Spurs is fantastic. So on a neutral England perspective, hopefully he doesn't get injured, he stays fit and we get him into the Euros because we're definitely going to need him. But yeah, massive concerns. He scored a brilliant goal against us last time and so did Son. So we've got to be on our best behaviour. We've got to be massively disciplined in this game.
Corey, thank you very much. Enjoy the game on Sunday and come on you Spurs.